morning, everyone. I hope you're having a good day. Well, went onto Google and I put in the search bar, are weeds a problem for farmers? And it pulled up this result. The impact of weeds on agriculture. Weeds reduce farm and forest productivity. They invade crops, smother pastures, and in some cases can harm livestock. They aggressively compete for water, nutrients, and sunlight, resulting in crop and resulting in reduced crop yield and poor crop quality. Okay, big problem for the farmers, right? Okay, well, and here we go. Here's a solution. Roundup was introduced to consumer market in 1974 as a broad spectrum herbicide and quickly became one of the best-selling herbicides since 1980. The history of glyphosate. The molecule glyphosate was patented by Monsanto in the early 1970s as an active ingredient in the herbicide Roundup. All right. I also checked in here. It says, is Roundup toxic? There's been a great deal of study on Roundup, and we're very proud of its performance. The EPA considers glyphosate to have low toxicity when used at the recommended doses. The EPA classifies glyphosate as a Group E chemical, which means that there is a strong evidence that it does not cause cancer in humans. Wow, problem solved. Thank you, Monsanto. What will we do without them? Here, I pulled up another article here, ScienceDaily.com, and it says here, Monsanto's glyphosate now most heavily used weed killer in history. Wow, good for Monsanto. I pulled up an application here, and as you can see here, it says United States Environment Protection Agency. Here's a letter coming from the EPA addressed to Aaron Ayers from who works at the Monsanto company. All right. And it says here that, dear Ms. Ayers, the agency is receipt of your application, basically for the pesticide notification under pesticide registration notice. They have conducted a review and basically finds that the action requested falls within the scope of the PRN 98-10. Okay. So basically what happened here was Monsanto was applying for an adjustment for their particular labeling of this particular product, the Roundup. But I just wanted to point out that that the request was dated May 1st, and the approval was a week later, May 8th, 2013. Now, I worked for a county. I worked for the state. I also worked a little while for the federal government agency, and for them to turn around information or letters or applications within a week, that's really fast, really fast. I mean, I guess Monsanto has a way of getting their application towards the top. I also wanted to note regarding this particular product, here it is right here, it's called Roundup Weed and Killer Concentrate Plus. And it has here the active ingredients. Now the active ingredient which we're talking about is this glyphosate, which is only 18% of the material. They have this dibromide, which is not even 1%, and under other ingredients, that comprises almost 81.2%. So my question is, what are in the other ingredients? Because I thought maybe it would be water, but this is a concentrate. And what you do is you have to, when you pour it out, you have to dilute it with water. So my question is, what is in the other ingredients? I mean, it's not like it's the other ingredients are 1%. If the other ingredients was 1.27%, I wouldn't worry about it so much. But when it comprises over 80% of the concentrate, my question is, what's in it? I pulled up an article here from the NIH, the National Institute of Health.gov, and it says here, glyphosate toxicity and carcinogenicity, a review of the scientific basis of the European Union assessment and its differences with the IARC. I pulled down here a little bit, and it says here, glyphosate is the most widely used herbicide worldwide. It is a broad-spectrum herbicide, and its agricultural uses increased considerably after the development of glyphosate-resistant genetically modified varieties. So, in other words, this Roundup or glyphosate was considerably used more against genetically modified varieties, or varieties of basically crops, right? Corn, soy, and whatnot. Since glyphosate was introduced in 1974, all regulatory assessments have established that the glyphosate has a low hazard potential to mammals. However, the International Agency of Research on Cancer concluded in March 2015 that it is probably carcinogenic. How odd. So, so what I did here was I was looking for, because I was reading some other articles, and it was stating that glyphosate has a negative effect towards non-Hodgkin lymphoma. So when I looked into this, it says here, who is most at risk for lymphoma? Non-Hodgkin. Okay. First factor is age. Most cases occur in people older than 80. The second factor, exposure to certain chemicals, including benzene and some herbicides. That's kind of crazy. So what I did after that was I went to the American Cancer Society, their particular website, and I looked under cancer type non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And this is taking you from the years of 1975 to all the way to 2014. And the yellow line is for males, and the gray is for females. And back in 1975, about 13 out of 100,000 men had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And for females, it was just under 10, about maybe 9.5 or so. Now, if you go another 40 years down the road, and now the males, the incidences are almost at 26 per 100,000, which is doubling it. And the women have gone up to about where is it now? A little over 16. So that's gone up from about 9 to 16, which is quite high. 16, 17. So that's almost doubled. Crazy, huh? How's that? If these herbicides are so non-cancer causing, then why is this non-Hodgkin lymphoma doubling over 40 years? Because remember, as I showed you before, this Roundup is, taking over in regards to treating of these weeds. And then I pulled up this other article here, and it says Monsanto ordered to pay $289 million in damages in Roundup cancer trial. Wow. It says here, crops are often treated with the herbicide glyphosate. Yeah, glyphosate. Roundup. And if you go down here, it says chemical giant Monsanto has been ordered to pay $289 million in damages to a man who claimed herbicides containing glyphosate had causes cancer.